we are doing something a little bit fun today. I'm showing you how to do some easy and effective DIY hair treatments using some specific herbs that will help you to grow your hair stronger, healthier, and actually also help with some scalp health. So I think these recipes are going to be really, really simple. And really easy for you to do, especially if you're somebody that wants to kind of dabble into doing DIY in a kit. You can get all of the ingredients, all of the main ingredients that I use tonight in a kit. Before we get started, those of you that may be new or have not seen me before, my name is Kendra. I'm the founder of 180 Hair, and I help women over the age of 40 to regrow their hair using natural and holistic solutions. The first thing I want to start out with is making a fenugreek hair growth mist. And I like fenugreek because it is a powerhouse when it comes to hair growth. Okay, it helps to strengthen the hair follicles, it helps to hydrate the scalp, and it can even reduce shedding. It helps to balance your oil production. So if your scalp is a little too oily, it can kind of help to balance that out. And if it's more on the drier side, it can help to balance that out as well. Fenugreek is actually one of the ingredients that's in our hair growth treatment. So whether you get the liquid balm or the original balm, fenugreek is one of the main ingredients in there. So for this recipe, you are going to need, of course, your fenugreek. We're going to need distilled water. So I just got some good old distilled water from Walmart. Okay, nothing special. I think this was like $2, maybe less. But for this blend, we only need about 1/3 cup of distilled water. So I'm going to use this little measuring cup here, and I already filled it with 1/3 cup of distilled water. And then we're going to need 1 teaspoon. So I have my little measuring spoon. This is a teaspoon. So, and I usually overfill my measuring spoons when I'm making my little DIY, because if you want to add a little more, you can add a little more, but I'm going to do 1 teaspoon. As a matter of fact, because I can, I'm going to do 1.5. Okay, and that's that. This particular blend is going to have to sit overnight. You are going to soak the seeds. Okay, the fenugreek seeds will need to soak overnight. So we're talking 12 hours up to 24 hours. If you can do 24 hours, that would be amazing. You're going to strain them out. So we're going to pretend these have already soaked. We're going to pretend we got our fenugreek water. Okay, because that's essentially what's going to happen. They're going to soak in the water. The water is going to absorb all of the nutrients and minerals and everything that has the fenugreek is good for. Okay, and then you'll take a spray bottle. So this is probably about 3 ounces, maybe a little less. So you're supposed to strain the fenugreek seeds out. All right, but for the sake of time, just roll with me. Okay. So I'm going to pour this in here, and remember, these have soaked overnight. All right. So that I don't get all of the seeds in the bottle, we'll do that. And now you can add some essential oil. So one essential oil that I would recommend is rosemary. Rosemary essential oil is very good for stimulating hair growth. So rosemary with fenugreek is definitely going to give you some growth power. So I'm going to do 3 drops. That's it. So remember, we're adding rosemary to fenugreek water. The fenugreek soaks in the water overnight, and then we add the rosemary. Okay, so this is what you end up with, right? You can use this as a leave-in scalp mist. Okay, you do not have to rinse it out. You can, if the smell of the fenugreek or the rosemary is too strong, you can definitely rinse it out if you choose, but you do not have to. Okay, so you'll spray this on your scalp once a day to keep everything hydrated and to boost growth. Now, in between uses, you definitely need to store this in the refrigerator. Okay, you'll need to refrigerate this since it's all natural and we did not add any preservatives. Okay, so you'll need to refrigerate this and try to use it within 5 to 7 days. Since we're using a smaller bottle, we're making a smaller batch. I always recommend starting with a smaller batch, because that way you'll know if you have a reaction to it, if it's something that is actually really helping, or if it's not helping, then you don't waste a lot of product, okay? If this particular blend doesn't help you, then you make something else. Now, another good thing I recommend to do when you're making your own blends is to write down what you made. So I have these little labels here. On the label, it has the blend name. So remember, we call this a Fenugreek hair growth mist. So I would just write that on here. I'm just going to write Fenugreek mist. And then the purpose of this is going to be for hair growth and scalp health. So I'm going to do growth and scalp health. And then I need to also, what's very important is that you include the date that you made the blend. Because if you need to use it within 7 days, you need to know when that 7-day cutoff is. And today is the 24th, so I'm going to do 10/24/24. And so there's my label. And I'm going to take this bad boy, and also it'll help you remember what you blended, okay? So I'm going to take this and put it on here. And just like that, I just made my own blend. All right. I have the name of it, what I made it for, and the date that I made it, so that I know in 7 days, if I have not used all of this, I need to throw it away. Okay, so we are going to move on to the next blend. Now this one, we are going to use 2 different herbs, and we are going to do an oil. We're going to do an oil infusion for this one. So a little bit different. I'm going to get a small jar. This is like a 1-ounce jar. Again, we always work in small batches because we don't know if we are going to have a reaction to something. And this also just keeps us from wasting product. This one is Nettle and Hibiscus. So we are going to do an oil infusion for these. Now, this is going to be a powerful blend for strengthening your hair from root to tip. Both of these herbs are loaded with nutrients, of course, that are essential for hair health or hair growth and scalp care. So Nettle is packed with a lot of vitamins, minerals, but specifically iron and silica. Okay, these help to stimulate growth by improving your blood circulation, delivering oxygen and nourishment to your follicles. Nettle also helps with scalp inflammation and hair loss and shedding. And you have hibiscus, which is known for its conditioning properties. If you're dealing with thinning or hair loss, it helps to reawaken or wake up your dormant follicles. So if you have follicles that are not producing hair, hibiscus is definitely going to help with that. It also is very good for adding a natural shine. So if your hair is dull and dry looking, this is definitely going to be an ingredient that you want to try. So when we combine these 2 together, you get strength, and then you get the ideal environment for healthy hair growth. All right. So if you're dealing with scalp issues, dandruff, irritation, this oil is going to help to soothe your scalp and balance it out, which is, of course, essential for healthy hair growth. We're going to start with the Nettle. And I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon of each. So I'm going to add 1. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of the hibiscus. And so we're also going to add an oil to this. You can use whatever oil you like or whatever you prefer. You can use coconut oil, olive oil, whatever you have, whatever you prefer. I'm going to do 2. I should have did a tablespoon. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of hibiscus and 1 of nettle. All right. So that's a pretty good amount of herbs that we have added. Okay. Now to that, I'm going to add one of my favorite oils is rice bran oil. Okay. I think it's an excellent choice for hair health and growth. It's lightweight. It's rich in vitamin E. Okay. This helps to protect your hair from damage. It's also known to help improve circulation to the scalp, improves elasticity. So it helps to make your hair stronger, more flexible, less prone to breakage. So this is the one that I'm going to be using tonight. I always want to get 100% non-GMO, 100% pure, cold pressed, all those things. So when you are selecting your carrier oil, you want it in the most natural form that it comes in, and you don't want any additional oils added to it. So you don't want a blend of oils. You want just the oil you're paying for. So to those herbs, we are going to just fill the jar up with the oil, just like this. So that's what it looks like. All right, y'all see that? And make sure your lid is screwed on tight. Now from here, this needs to infuse. So this is what we call an herbal infusion. The herbs are infusing in the oil, and this takes time. So you need to give it at least 2 weeks. I would say you can do 1 week, but I would really prefer 2 weeks. The longer the better. The longer you let the herb infuse in the oil, the stronger it becomes. Okay, the more of those natural nutrients that you would get if you do it that way. But it's up to you. So store this in a dark place. Typically, when we do infusions, we use a dark container to protect it from sunlight, to protect it from oxidation and all those things. But you can just take this jar or a jar similar to this or whatever you have and just put it maybe like in your cabinet. Put it in your cabinet with your canned goods or your cups or your dishes, and just check on it every few days. Go in there, shake it up, put it back. Maybe set a timer on your phone so that you don't forget to go and check on it. So once you have done that, once it's ready, you will just strain out the herbs and use a few drops. You can add more essential oil. So I would add, again, rosemary is going to be the one that I suggest if you're going to use essential oils for your hair growth. I recommend rosemary oil. So you can put a few drops in after you get to that 2-week mark. Okay. And then once you strain out the herbs, then you would just use this a few times a week. You can massage it into your hair daily if you like, but that's not necessary. I would stick to a few times a week. Moving on to the very last infusion, Fenugreek and Nettle. So we're going to go back to this one. We're going to go back to the Fenugreek. And we're going to do another scalp oil. So similar to the one we just did, we are going to do these 2 herbs. This one is going to be more scalp focused. All right. And it's going to be specifically designed to address hair thinning, hair loss, and scalp health. So it's going to be very much the same. We have our clear jar. We have the fenugreek and we have the nettle. We're going to use the same amount. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of fenugreek, 1 teaspoon of the nettle. Just like that. And of course, that's more than a teaspoon, y'all. Okay. And again, you can use any oil that you prefer. I'm going to just stick with the same oil because it's the only one that I brought to the table. And we are going to do the same thing. And this is going to do the same process. You'll fill this up to the top. You're going to check it every few days, shake it up. Once it's been infusing for about 2 weeks, you'll strain the herbs off and use this as a hair and scalp oil or a scalp oil. So you'll take this and massage it into your scalp just like with the first one that we did. Okay, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning, so this really did not go as I planned it, but it's okay. I still wanted to come on and show you these herbs and how they can be used, how you can use them. You can use them to make your own blends, okay? You can make things that are specific to your hair health, to your hair needs. If you need growth, if you need conditioning, if you need shine, there are herbs available specifically for those things. You do not have to buy a product, okay? You can just make something yourself. Next thing, I wanted to make sure that you would have everything that you need if you wanted to do this yourself, okay? Because I know a lot of times we see videos where people are telling us what to make, how to make it, but don't really give us the tools or the information to do it. So that's why I've launched this new kit. So all the products that I use tonight are available in this kit. So the 3 herbs are available in the kit. Plus you will get a empty spray bottle. All right. You'll also get an empty jar that you can use for the herbs. Okay. So you'll get those 2 things. And then you'll also get some recipe cards. You will get 4 separate recipes, and 3 of the ones I did tonight are included. So you have 1, then 2 is on the back, recipe 3, and then 4 is on the back. So you'll get 4 recipes. You'll get 3 bags of herbs. This is more than enough to do the projects that we did tonight. Remember, we only use teaspoons, okay? So there's enough for you to do this multiple times over, okay? If you want to do the math on it, you can get a bigger bottle, okay? And just multiply it times the number of, or the amount of ounces. The recipes that I showed tonight were just for a 2.5 ounce bottle. Okay, if you got some 4 or 5, 8 ounce bottles laying around and you want to make a bigger batch, then that's fine. Okay, also in the kit, you are going to get these nice little labels. This will help you to keep your blends organized. It's going to be, this is probably the most important step, is to make sure you are writing down what you created and the date, okay? What you made, what it's for, and the dates. You're not putting expired ingredients or anything with bacteria or mold in your hair and scalp, okay? That's just going to cause more problems. So putting that date on there is going to be important. I'm going to add the link to YouTube if you want to grab the kit or check it out. Kit link is in Facebook, and it is also in YouTube. So no matter where you're watching, you should be able to see the link. All right. So you will have your recipe cards. You will have your 3 bags of herbs. Okay. I've selected these specifically for scalp health and hair health. Okay. Because we want our scalp to be healthy so that our hair can grow properly. All right. Then you, of course, also get your labels. I want you to label everything that you make. And then you got your plastic spray bottle. All right. This is only like a 2.5 ounce. And then you have your, this one has something in it, but you'll get an empty jar. Right now, the herbs are only available in the kit. Probably within the next 2 weeks or so, we'll do refill packs. So you can just purchase these individually. They won't come with a recipe card. They won't come with any bottles or anything like that. But if you use this kit and you run out of hibiscus, or you decide you just want to try one herb, you will be able to purchase a refill pack. All right. So those will be available for purchase individually. But as of right now, everything is only available as a kit. Let me know if y'all have any questions. If not, I'm going to get out of here. All of the ingredients that I used are ingredients that I add in our hair growth products, okay? So if you have not tried the balm, the regular balm, this one is out of stock. This one will be back in stock in November, okay? Just in time for Thanksgiving. And then this one is still in stock, but it is going fast. And the significance of these and these herbs, again, like I said, is that I use these in these products. I use hibiscus in almost every product that I make. So there's hibiscus in both of these. There's hibiscus in the conditioning mist. There's hibiscus in the moisture cream. And is there some in here? I don't. Oh yeah, it is. I do put hibiscus in the scalp oil. So yes, I am a lover of hibiscus. It's in everything. All right, because it is that great of an ingredient. I just love it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I hope that you all were inspired to try some of these yourself. We're going to go ahead and end it here, and I will see y'all on the next one.